Another episode of Pizza and Socialism. A lot to deal with, a lot to unpack. So, once again, I go outside, let my dog do its business, and then on the way back, everyone else has the same anxiety here. So, it was just too fucking awkward. So, I had to pull my dog aside, and then, look, I trust my dog. Pasta Cavossier, that's all I've got to say. Pasta Cavossier was just at the front desk holding court. The swagger, I cannot. Hold on. Aussie, come here. Over there. Cannot believe this. So that was interesting to see. Like, literally had his pimp cup. I don't know why he had his pimp cup for. If you know what a pimp cup is, you know, then you know. But yeah, had his pimp cup, and as I'm trying to tiptoe around that because I don't want to be seen, out the fucking staircase comes yet another woman, just like timed it perfectly. Where as I'm just about to go into my room, some woman just comes down the staircase. I say my ubiquitous "get away from me" to the air because I'm just like booking it to my room. I hate having PTSD. I hate having PTSD. I would like to believe that people have lives, just people have normal lives that have nothing to do with me. But it just feels like, and this might be my narcissism, I've been told I'm quite narcissistic. But even so, that doesn't excuse half the way that I've been treated. I uploaded on YouTube the incident where I was told that the luggage cart was missing. By the way, something to look forward to again. I was told that the luggage cart was missing. I don't even think they have a luggage cart here. So it might turn out differently, but I was told that the luggage cart was missing. And immediately, the moment I exit the door, some woman is like, I have to get past you. I have to get past you. I have to get past you. And she had this really nasty attitude about it. So I was like, no, I have PTSD. You're going to wait right there. And the video is there. So, oh well. Oh. um, nom and nom. I guess the most interesting part about my little journey was I knew my dog was barking for me, so I came back. I guess she could smell the new people and was just like, oh, it smells suspicious. So, oh well. But I'm looking around Canada. I'm heading to Canada soon. I mean, I'm not one for sightseeing, but maybe I should explore Canada for a bit. I mean, yeah, I'm going there on a United Nations mission. Oh, I say mission. But really, I'm talking about my humanitarian, just prime directive to fucking fix the world's ills. One day at a time. One pizza at a time. So, besides the United Nations, what else should I do? Hmm. I think I'm supposed to go to Queen Street for some reason. Take a picture there and then leave. Hmm. I don't know. Being in Portland right now just makes me feel like I've been sitting in the dirt. Like I'd forgotten my own worth. Hmm. But you know me, I bring the party, so who else is going to be out in short shorts and a leather jacket in what I can only describe as frigid ass weather? This is going to be a test of my commitment to whether I want to walk the streets in this outfit. This will be the test because it is cold. It is super, super cold, but it's also exciting. What does the world become when you're no longer surrounded by people who you suspect could hurt you? I mean, I'm going to Canada. I mean, I'm not exactly going to a convent, so I have to keep my wits about me there. I have to remember that nowhere is safe, but I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try. You never know. You never know how nice it would be to just meet genuinely friendly people without a hidden agenda, without anything. So I hope Canada likes music because I'm going to be singing my favorite Canadian songs from the gates of Vancouver all the way up and down the streets in this outfit. Mm. I've never had hope so close before. I was going to give it another month, just another month, but it just feels like things are getting worse. And like I keep saying, it's not like I'm fucking famous. So. I don't know why I have to deal with all the things I deal with. But even if I wasn't famous, it's just not safe in America. It's not safe to walk the streets because the streets have just been neglected. The streets are neglected. This is what happens when people spend most of their lives just indoors in their houses, in their homes. They get off work, they're just completely fucking drained, and they need a place of refuge, of sanctuary. And so they abandon the streets. They abandon what should also be their sanctuary. Sanctuary. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to stay there forever because as much as America abuses me, I do have rights here and I will see my rights honored, which is why I just have to speak to the United Nations. My rights were violated by the United States, so the United Nations has to handle it. That's all. It's a quick conversation. Um, and then they send it off to, I guess, Switzerland or Sweden or something like that. Vivemos! Hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the revolution. My name is Ian Ileona. I am an environmentalist. Yeah, I try to speak English and I fail every time. I'm an environmentalist. I'm a mutant. I'm a werewolf. And I do pizza and socialism. But either way, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, follow, recommend it to your friends and family. I put it to all my fans out there. How can you make the world a better place? Or what do you care what Americans think of you? Personally, I don't. I mean, look at me. I walk around in leather and booty shorts. I stopped caring what Americans thought of me a while back. Look at my beard, man. Does it look like I care? What I have struggled with is this idea of a personal space and two people just harassing me. Like when I was living in East Los Angeles, I used to have women try and break down my door. This happened around the same exact time I started publishing on a new distributor, so could be that. Eat your food. I try to eat my food. Bibby, I hope you don't mind if I call you Bibby. Ha, Bibby. It's just not that simple. I mean, the issues that I bring up of pollution, of human rights, they're felt throughout the globe. I just don't bring up the United Kingdom as much because the United Kingdom is two worlds. It really is. Because you have London, you have your Glasgow, you have your Cardiff, and you've got Belfast and all the rest. But either way, outside of that, you have just beautiful plains and forests. It's untouched. It's not the biggest area, but somehow they just found a way. So the only people who are truly affected by these environmental issues are people who are still living in the cities. But if you got out of the cities or if you don't grow up in the cities, then you don't deal with any of this. With me. All right. Everyone is different in the world. Yeah, I agree. But even if so, can't we just agree that we don't need to burn fuel for anything? Everything that we could do could be done either through electricity or through just normal locomotion. We burn so much fuel to carry things from one end of a country to another end of a country or to distribute it individually in between houses. And you want to say to these people, don't you think you could produce that where you are? Don't you think that you could simplify it? Or don't you think it would be better for your health if you just said, on this street, we don't allow lorries, trucks, anything, cars, motorways, nothing, nothing. You just have a walking zone. I know that I check a lot on Scotland and the low speed zones that they're doing there. And it's a lovely idea, but you know what the best speed is? Like 1 mile per hour. 1 mile per hour. There are villages that do that already. But okay, okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because it's something I talk about on this channel a lot. If we didn't have fuel, how do we take people to the hospital? We can't take people to the hospital now because when they try and go on a highway or any sort of motorway, they have to deal with traffic. They put the signal on and woo, 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 woo. It goes off. But they can't make it to the hospital half the time because there's another fucking incident that takes up some space or the traffic is just so slow. But then there's the other issue of if you need to go to the hospital, then you have to sometimes tell me why. I mean, not me personally, yeah. But you have to tell me what was going on about your health that you didn't notice that there was an issue before. Why weren't you speaking to your GP before whatever issue it is? Accidents happen, obviously, pregnancies happen, yeah. But sometimes you want to do things like home births. You want to do something that has midwives, people who are specialized in this. People who you have known and you can trust. You know, infant mortality rates are higher than they should be, often because the mother is just too stressed. She's dealing with something that her body has never really done before, and she can't connect with anyone. She can't trust anyone. Sometimes the husband isn't even there, the father isn't there, or the family isn't there, and she's doing it alone. And then this hospital is supposed to fill in all these gaps and fill, this rapport. And like, what if the doctor that had been your obstetrician wasn't there that day when the baby comes? These are things that you should be talking to your local government about. I'll be back. You are confused. Oh, I have to sleep. Good night, princess. Good night. You want to talk to your local government about these kind of things. You want to talk to them about the roads themselves. Are they safe? And also, do you need them? We bring people to the hospital, but sometimes the hospital isn't the right environment. Sometimes the doctor has to actually be there. We need to change medical care. We need to shift it out of, oh yeah, that grayish and white building over there, that's the hospital. Yeah, some people are born there, some people die there. If you're sick, you go there. That's it. It's like, no, wake up, people, wake up. You need to get people to go into the building. You should have a mall there. You should have an arcade there. You should have a discotheque there. And you want to say, oh, okay, well, I mean, look, they're doing surgery on this floor, but then the floor underneath is a fucking party. Yeah, I think so. I think so. You need to be able to tell people this is the place to go if you have an issue or if you just want to check things out. Because people live their lives of, I don't need to know what's going on. I don't need to know what's going on with my body. I don't need to know what my future's going to be. Are my cells going haywire? Am I pregnant? Am I, going blind? I don't know. All these things that you should know if you went into the fucking hospital. Or here's also a thought. What if the doctor came to see you? What if the doctor knocked on your door and said, you know what, I was in the neighborhood, I'm doing my rounds. Doctors used to do rounds, and then the only rounds they do are of people who are sick already. Do you do a round as an attending or a resident? You do a round, and you speak to these people and you go like, how are you feeling, how are you feeling? Oh, okay, okay. And then you look at the chart, and the chart tells you automatically what's wrong with them already. And it's like, they're sick already, so you have a cheat sheet of everything that's going wrong with them. But is it everything that's going wrong with them? Because sometimes these issues are more complicated. Sometimes there are other issues that you never get to talk about because you never ask. But if you would ask them while they were just healthy and moving and about, and you're like, oh yeah, I got a funky pain, or I have a new mole or something, you might be able to change their lives for the better. I skipped over going into being a doctor, and I just want to be a hospital administrator. I have to. These are things that I want to see change. People around the world have just gotten suckered into a Western way of thinking and believing. Your health is determined by the latest TikTok craze of health advice, as opposed to a healthy lifestyle Find one that works for you. I'll be back. Oh, dogs. Right. It works for some people. It does. It functions. But how can it function properly if people don't go in to the hospital? You don't go to the hospital unless you're sick. It's a shitty fucking attitude. You only go to the doctor when they send you a fucking card that says, "Hey, we haven't seen you in a while. Time for a checkup." Come on. You want to maintain your health? Keep talking about your health. We need to redesign these cities. We need to redesign these towns by building new ones, by building brand new communities, reflecting upon what we've learned and what we need. What we need. What we need are doctors to be parts of the community again. How can you be an effective doctor in a community when you're paid so much that you don't see a public good to go door to door, be invited to meals, just talk to them? Because that's what doctors used to do. But it became such a specialized skill because people were sick before, but they were more active. They were people who ate very, very healthy. Vegetables weren't frowned upon as they are in modern days. I mean, do we look better than people who looked in that area? Sorry, lived in that area. I don't know what I was trying to say. Yeah, we do. That's mostly good genetics. But then, yeah, we're eating more food, but their internal organs, they're in a higher function. Their bodies moved in a way that people would be winded. They were stronger, but maybe not completely resilient. There's always room for improvement, but if no one says there's something wrong, you'll never change. I want things to change, so I have a lot of writing to do because I want to make sure that I'm prepared to give a statement to the Canadians who are in charge of this United Nations outpost that I'm going to, because I want to make sure that I've at least given people a chance to review. If you agree with what I'm saying, well, maybe you gather your friends, your family, and you say, why don't we try that over here, over there? Because you're not going to change the cities. I don't even try anymore. I just say build the next thing. Build the next thing. And the next thing is a village. The best thing that you can have is the ability to trust the people and the walls around you. And sometimes realize you don't even need the walls. That you'd have more health if you had more people on at least one hand that you could fucking say, I could count on you. It's a public good. It's a public good to have trust restored in a community. And one of the ways to rebuild that trust is better health for your populace, better health for your citizen. My name is Ian Iliona. I'm a mutant. I'm a werewolf. Oh, full moon coming up in a few days now. I have to do something special in Canada. I'll go treat. Um, I think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna like it. I'm just gonna be there for a short bit, speak to the United Nations, and see where things go from there. Maybe I do follow that, and I just go from country to country, speaking to the populace about, do you know what your options are? Do you know that you deserve more? Because if you don't, then I'd like to remind you of your worth. Hope to see you on the next podcast.